Hey, this is Lancer Kine. I am preparing to do release planning for my Agile Noir book I'm working on. I'm just going to give you an overview of how one sets up a release planning with a software team or with any other project you're working on, such as a book or anything you want to use Scrum with. First of all, you need a backlog. And so there's the rest of the backlog that I will need to release Agile Noir. You can see lots of different chapters. It looks like I'm planning for 8 chapters, and I have lots of writing stories, and sometimes I have some other. That one doesn't go there. We have some other stories, such as mail merge to send out book proposals and create the book proposals. Some of those are more like business oriented for this project. Okay, now how do you set up for a release planning? If you bring a team of people in together, and I'm a team of 1, but if it still helps even the team of 1. If you bring in a team of people, software developers together to quickly do estimates on an entire product backlog, that means from the start of the very first feature to the end of all the features. It's a list of all the features you need today before you feel you can go to market. And so you saw my list, but to prepare for that, and before you do sprint planning, the prerequisite is that you spend at least 1 sprint, but better 2 to 3 sprints, so that the team understands how much time they develop history with the task that they're doing, and they'll be able to do a much better estimate than if they do this completely cold. So what I have here is I've taken my first estimates here from the past, back when I was doing chapter 3, and I put them by these orange stickies, which you can see are up there on the ceiling, and those are using my geometric numbering series, which is what I've been using for this project. And you can see they're spaced out, so that 8 is twice as far away from the distance from 1 to 4. So proportionally, the area that I'm using for these is spread the distance correlates with their number. And also, just to give me some historical examples of the past, for me I've been running 10 sprints before I've done release planning, which isn't at all necessary for most situations, but in my case that's just when I got around to getting time to do this. But I have chapter 3, chapter 2, all of these ones are 1s. And so I have them stuck near here. They got the smiley face showing that they're done. They're sitting there to give me a reminder when I go through my stack of things down here, what a 1 is like. And this is a rough idea of what the 2s are like. And this is all of these together, these stories make up a larger story that's equivalent to a 4. And then I have an 8 way over there. Writing a first draft of a chapter is an 8 for me. Okay? So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to look down my list, and it looks like I have a few of them already pre-marked 1s. So these are my 1s. And so I'm quickly going to just start putting them underneath the area where I think they go. Now, the dynamics with a group of people is much different. You want the group of people you want to set the stage so that you tell the group of people essentially what I just said, and then you add, okay, everybody just come up and grab a story and put it where you think it goes. And even if you see someone putting a story that you don't agree with, you can move that story around if you wish, but don't have a discussion, because we'll have a discussion about that later. And don't feel that you can't move somebody else's story because you feel like they're smarter than you or whatever. Just move it if you feel that it's in the wrong spot, and we'll discuss it. In fact, if you see chapter 9 first draft, first drafts. Oh yes, that's over here in the 8s. So if one felt that this was in the wrong spot, you could tip it like this and say, okay, we really need to discuss this because I'm just really worried about that. But put them all up there. Make a commitment to what the number is for now, and we'll move it around and discuss it later. And so you want to get the team standing up and going over to the board and just moving those stories around, because they've been working on this project for at least a sprint, and they have some kind of gut feel for what all the story sizes ought to be. They don't know the exact size, but they know the gap. This is gap analysis. That's why we're using a geometric numbering system. They know the gap between an 8 and a 4. So they're going to get roughly right. The 8 stories go underneath the 8, and the 4s go underneath the 4, and the 1s go underneath the 1s. Occasionally you'll get some of them wrong, but the average will be okay for the whole project because we're doing a release planning. We want to know what the rest of the sprints, how long it will take to finish the project. And so any errors we have to average out pretty nicely. Alright, so let me finish up my sprint planning here, and I'll show you the results in a little bit.